There's a bouncer at the door of the most dangerous club on earth. And at that club, anything goes. But this guy, he pats everyone down to enforce just one rule. The whole reason that bouncer is even there. And that bouncer is there to make sure that nobody brings in the BFG. The big effing gun. The one that could wipe everybody out. And for 15 years, that bouncer has stood guard, patting everyone down. He made every guest sign in on the same clipboard, no exceptions. He even pointed at that one guy in the corner and said, "Absolutely not. You are the very reason we check bags," and went to war with that guy over it. But then a Saudi prince walks up, may or may not have a whole band of people walking in with him, and the bouncer simply unclips the rope and says, "You're good. Head on in with whatever's in that bag." And it does remind me a little bit of that Seinfeld bit where he makes fun of TSA workers. What is that, a bowling ball with a wick? Oh, okay. Oh, a hairdryer with a scope? No problem. That thing shaped just like a nuclear weapon? I doubt that's a nuclear weapon. Go ahead through. Of course, it might not be a nuclear weapon. It might just be uranium. And look, this whole story comes from draft documents that were obtained by CNN, and while I am filming this, I'm looking and it looks like this deal is being finalized. The Trump regime has quietly agreed to let Saudi Arabia enrich uranium on its own soil, without any of the international safeguards that the United States has demanded for 15 straight years. No gold standard, no promise to skip enrichment or reprocessing, those two roads that lead to an actual working bomb. And no additional protocol, the thing that lets UN inspectors show up unannounced and confirm that no one is building the very thing that they said they weren't going to build. Donald Trump stripped all three of those protections. And it is the first time in 15 years that we have handed a Middle Eastern country the enrichment keys and skipped any inspections. This is insane. Because, think about this. Right now, this administration is fighting a war with Iran. We've lost 18 American soldiers, $37.5 billion. And one of the stated reasons that we're supposed to be in this war is to stop Iran from enriching uranium to build a bomb. So let me make sure I have this policy straight. Iran enriches uranium. That earns a war. Saudi Arabia wants to enrich uranium. That is worth a signing ceremony. Same element, same centrifuges, same bomb at the end of the road, yet the only variable that changed is the size of the checkbook on the other side of the table. And I've got to tell you, being in Pensacola, where an attack on our base by a Saudi Arabian Air Force officer claimed 3 lives, I am definitely not convinced that Saudi Arabia is a true ally. And the man running our State Department, Marco Rubio, when he was a senator, he was one of the loudest voices demanding the gold standard for this deal, this type of deal, this deal with Saudi Arabia. And now he's the one that's helping push it through without any of the guardrails. His principle lasted right up until the letterhead, the president, changed. Oh, and by the way, one more detail. The Crown Prince has openly said that if Iran ever gets a nuclear weapon, Saudi Arabia will definitely build one too. So you have guaranteed nuclear escalation. Man, that Cold War is back on. Woo! And I've got to ask you guys, just on this narrow topic, which candidate in 2028 do you trust to rebuild our global standing and look to scale back this nuclear escalation? On just this issue, this is where I see one of the governors, the Newsom or the Shapiro, or even a Mark Kelly doing extremely well. Again, I don't know how electable overall they are. Just saying on this issue, those are my top picks. And remember this, the Trump family does an enormous amount of business with the Saudis. the golf, the real estate, the billions parked with the exact people signing this deal. So forgive me if I do not believe the holdup is a sudden attack of conscience about non-proliferation. This rule held for 15 years across both parties because everyone understood the same damn thing. You don't bend the rules for the guy with the biggest wallet. Because the guy with the biggest wallet is the entire reason you have the rule. Because that's who can afford to escalate things. And that's why I'm going to ask you to hit that notification icon, because you do not want to miss the next time we talk about this, especially since I don't think this nuclear giveaway was the top story on a single corporate broadcast. Funny how the story about handing out bomb material somehow doesn't draw ratings.